Hi again, it's Lars. Another episode of Coach You Eat TV. I'm just throwing them out here. So, do you like my decor here with the lamp in the background? You know, and there's some post-its up there. I don't know if you can tell what they say. And there's a mirror, and you can see I'm like in this little tiny motel room. And there are post-its over on that wall. There's my MacBook Air. The keyboard's broken. It's really annoying. No, anyway, so I think a lot of what we really want in life, at least this is something that's deep within me, is a desire to be able to live, to contribute to the world in a way that is valuable to people and appreciated and received, and that also at the same time feels completely natural and authentic to me. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you put out work, you put out products, and you make them, you conceive of them, you create them, you produce them, you design them, and you distribute them, and you market them, you sell them in a way that feels completely natural, authentic, true to who you are in your essence. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to stretch. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to do things that make you scared. It doesn't mean you don't have to do things that stretch your skills and your abilities and you have to learn something new and that may be uncomfortable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're doing it in a way that feels completely true to your core essence, to your core nature, to the core of who and what you are. And it is received out there and it has value to people. Like when I see, David Heinemeier making Rails and making web apps, but his real work of art is creating Rails. He created Rails completely to his own liking. He created Rails exactly the way that he wanted it to be, and he built it in a way that he enjoyed building it, I think. That he built it, conceived of it, designed it, produced it in a way that made him happy, that felt completely true and authentic to him, and the world has received it overwhelmingly well. I think that must be one of the most exciting feelings in the world, that you put something out there, but you do that in a way that doesn't violate who you are, that just feels completely natural to you. And your job is to be as true to that expression as possible, and then it works out. There's no guarantee that it's always going to work out, but I think that's really the core of what I dream of in life, really, in my work life, is that ability, the ability to really, work hard, stretch, push myself, or not push, but really, engage the highest and best that I have to offer, and then produce work that really that really make me proud, and that I really enjoy producing, that feels, completely natural to me, and then discover, and then market it, and get it out there in a way, and discover that it has real value to people, and makes people happy, and it makes real connections between me and the people receiving it. And I think, that's deep within all of us, and I think I deeply, deeply believe that it is possible for everyone to achieve that. Not with with the market being every single person in the world, but with the market being just the right size for you, I guess. I really deeply believe that it's possible. I refuse to believe that whoever created this world, like whatever godlike creature made this thing happen, would design us in a way that we had to violate our core selves in order to be productive work in our work life. I mean, we're here to work. As part of what we're here to do is create work, do work, bring the human race forward. And I refuse to believe that whoever created this world did so in a way that would have us violate ourselves to do that, to achieve that. It just seems wrong to me. But I think it's also it's not like you can have that, you can have done that. I mean, look at Rails and David Heinemeier, and like he's done Rails, but what about they've done Basecamp, and it was a huge hit. I'm not sure. Backpack seems to have not really ever been the hit, and that was their like number 2 product. So But then they did High Rise, and that seemed to be quite a hit. Campfire still seems like a niche product, might be, but Basecamp and High Rise, now they're coming out with Basecamp Next, and it hasn't launched yet. We're a couple weeks off from the launch, and it looks really cool. It looks awesome, but it might flop. And I think, regardless of where you're at, there's still the risk that something might flop, and it's probably a part of it all the time that if you build something, if you don't build something that has the potential to flop, then you haven't stretched far enough. I would suppose. But I mean, with the iPad, when Apple and Steve Jobs did the iPad, from what I remember from the biography, he wasn't sure. I mean, they weren't sure it was going to hit. They for sure hadn't seen that it was going to be such a great hit as it became. It was more like, we feel they'd wanted to build a tablet for a long time, right? They were inventing the touchscreen technology with the purpose of building a tablet, and then they realized halfway through that the technology wasn't ready for the tablet-sized screen yet, but it was ready for a phone. Like, they could use it to build a phone, and so they did that. But when they did the phone, they knew they wanted to do a tablet. So they'd been looking at this for a long time, and they had a gut, presumably, that this might work. And they built something that they would really like to own and use themselves. But it was a gamble, and it might have failed. And it didn't, and that's great. But on the day, I think there's stories about how people criticize the iPad for being only for consumption, not for production, and it really hurt Steve's feelings. And there were a lot of people who were kind of underwhelmed with the iPad at the January launch event thingy, and Steve seemed to be really down because of those comments and emails and feedback that he got. So I think no one's immune to this, and at the same time I think the urge and the desire is so deep and so deep, so close to the core of why we're here. It's possibly a masculine thing. Not necessarily as in men and males, but the masculine part of us is the part that wants to do work to contribute to the world, to making the world a better place. So I'm not sure what the point was with that. It seems like a very masculine part of our nature. So anyway, the other day it was like, actually just last night I was talking to my girlfriend / wife about it, and it struck me that this was like having a million or even $1 billion in the bank would be great, but if I didn't have this, it would be meaningless. It's not about the money. The money is not really at all what I desire. I want to be financially safe and secure and all that stuff. That's good, but at the core of my being, what I'm yearning for is not the money. It's this ability to express, to create something that I'm proud of and that feels completely natural for me to express, and that is received and valued and by the world out there. That's what I'm really longing for. That's a deep desire, and kind of realizing this actually brought me to tears. Like wishing that there was some kind of father figure that would come and say, "Look, son, it's gonna be all right. Just relax, dude. Just be yourself. Everything's gonna work out." I wish there was some person that would, father-like figure that would say that to me. I don't have that person, so I'm gonna have to be that person for myself. And maybe the same goes for you. That you need to find that place within you that can get your inner child to feel loved and safe and secure, and look, you're okay. You're gonna be fine. Just be yourself. Put your best foot forward. Put your best work out there, and trust that everything's gonna work out. If there's one message I'd like to leave you with today, that would be it. All right. Thanks for paying attention. Bye-bye.